Welcome, everybody, to the top producer interview for Mortgage Mastermind Group. I am Paul Baxter. Guys, girls, got a little something different today. As I was just explaining, we've been working on over the last few days, or this whole week, our theme has been presentations to agents. We've talked about all the different types of presentations you can do, how to bring them into a room, different ways to get presentations, and everything in between. And today is the culmination of that. We've talked about how to co-sponsor presentations with title reps and how to get agents into the room. What we wanted to do today is provide you with a done-for-you presentation. The presentation that you're going to see today is a presentation that you literally only have to change a couple of things on the slide, and you can unwrap the box, take it out of the box, and use it on your very next presentation. You can use this today if you'd like. And we're going to go top to bottom through it. I am going to present it as if you were agents that I'm presenting it to, because I want you to have the gist of exactly how to present the material that I'm going to provide for you. But this is a truly done-for-you presentation, ready to go directly out of the box. Please make sure that you're taking notes or paying attention. You don't want to be multitasking here today. You don't want to miss a specific, the verbiage or the talking points that go with the specific slide. You will have access. The PowerPoint you're going to get the exact PowerPoint I'm presenting from. And at the end of the presentation or throughout the presentation, I may pause at a couple of pieces of it to explain where you would edit in your material or your information. So that being said, the presentation, I've set it up specifically to be about a 45-minute to 1-hour presentation, depending on the questions that come during the presentation. I want you, while you're watching today's presentation, feel free to any questions that are prompted from the presentation itself. Please refrain from asking questions about previous topics today. The reason for that is, again, we're kind of role-playing this. I want you to put your real estate agent hat on, so to speak, and pretend that you're an agent watching today's presentation. Any questions that are prompted from that, go ahead and ask them. I've set the PowerPoint up to specifically try and prompt questions at a couple of key places, and you'll understand why as we go through the presentation, but I want you to feel free to ask them. But again, try and refrain from asking questions that are not related to the presentation itself. Because you want to see this presentation as if you were the one giving it to a group of agents yourself. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pop open the presentation, and we will go ahead and dive right in. Again, just kind of put your real estate agent hat on. I'm putting my loan officer hat on, and I'm presenting it to you. Hey, folks, thank you so much for joining me today for Facebook pages. A question came in before I got started there. So hello, agents. Good to meet you. I'm Paul Baxter. I'll be presenting for you today. What we're going to be talking about is Facebook pages for all your listings. In essence, we're going to cover how to increase your Facebook lead generation. And notice, bear with me one second here. Sorry about that. I had a sneeze. The first place that you're going to edit this PowerPoint, notice on the front, and I've got it prompted. Your name goes there, your contact information goes there, and your NMLS number goes there. That's all you're changing so far. And I'll stop it where there's additional changes so that you guys can see that. But again, put your real estate agent hat on, and I'm presenting it to you. We're talking about, thank you for joining me, guys. We're talking about Facebook pages for all of your listings and how to increase your Facebook lead generation. Why use Facebook? Because there are over 202 million active users in the U.S. alone. 72% of adults online in the U.S. visit Facebook at least once a day. That means that the population is there. The average user on Facebook, the average U.S. user on Facebook, has 250 friends. A lot of them more, some of them less, but that's the average. These numbers are increasing with the use of Facebook and mobile devices. How many in the room look at Facebook on your mobile device? Pause for a brief moment and allow everybody. That's the first opportunity to engage your audience. You ask that simple question when you get to that spot to engage your audience. Okay, that's all you're looking to do there. I put that little piece in there to give you an opportunity to engage your audience. These numbers are increasing with the use of Facebook on mobile devices. How many of you use Facebook on your mobile device? Just raise your hand. How many of you do? Great. Okay, so you get the point of how many people are utilizing Facebook, especially with the mobile devices. People typically don't like to be navigated from Facebook once they're on there. I know from my own experience, I don't like it if I click something and it takes me off of Facebook. I typically close that page and come right back. The reason we're using Facebook for this is because 87% of engagement happens right there on the news feeds. And by the end of our presentation today, you're going to see a really cool way to get your listing into people's news feeds. Really, really neat stuff. Photos generate 120% more engagement than texts and links. How many of us in the room have posted a link to our single property website on our Facebook page? Okay, I can see some of you have. Let me ask you, how many engagements did you get? What I mean by engagement, how many people liked it or shared it or clicked it from there? Imagine then if 120% more likes, comments, or engagements happen because you used a photograph linked to a page as opposed to a link outside of Facebook. It does do that much more difference. Using pages also allows you to use what's called apps or applications. You can put an application or make a page right on your business page or your listing page, so to speak, for virtual tours or video tours. It's like having a page within your page or multiple pages or setting up basically a website inside of Facebook. And the big thing it lets you do is it allows you to run ads directly to a landing page right inside of Facebook. And the cool part is it's got some really neat new demographics that allows you to target people who are likely to move in your area. Really neat stuff. So how do you get started? The first thing you're going to need to do is go ahead and get logged into your Facebook account. Everybody knows how to log into your Facebook account. And then to prepare yourself to make it nice and easy for what you're doing, you're going to go ahead and have your listings photos ready to go. You're going to have your virtual tour link open and ready to go, and you're going to have your website link open in separate tabs ready to go because you're going to utilize all those pieces from your listing. You're also going to have your branding photo ready on the computer that you're using, and what I mean by your branding photo is your headshot. You are your brand. People buy from you, not Keller Williams, not Century 21. People buy from you based on how you make them feel, and they want to see that. Let them get to know who you are. And it's just for a profile picture. The property itself is going to take the main part of the photos, but have those pictures and have all your pieces to the puzzle ready to go before you get started. It will save you a lot of time and energy. Once you've done that, you're going to go to any fan page on Facebook and click the Create Page button. It's in the same place on every fan page, and here's just a little graphic to show you where it is. If you don't have a fan page or know what a fan page is, you can certainly use mine. Just go to, and this is the other place you guys are going to change or edit this presentation to become your own. You simply replace this little section here with the URL address of your fan page. Why not drive the traffic to your fan page to get them to create a page? Okay, so put your URL address in there. Make sure you point out the graphic and where the Create Page button is. The next step is you're going to choose, they give you multiple options, and you're going to choose the option that says local business or place. The reason we choose this is it allows us to put in a physical address and a phone number, and it also gives us a page domain during the setup process. This allows us to have a vanity domain and easily navigate people to our listing on Facebook. The overall function of each page type is exactly the same. It doesn't change any of the functionality of fan pages. The differences are in what's allowed during setup or during the process of getting set up. So again, I use local business or place to create that, and here are the other options that it gives you. I believe there are 6 of them, but I always use local business or place. You're going to choose a category from the drop-down menu that's available. The category that you're going to choose is real estate, and it is important to choose the right category because it helps with both searches inside of Facebook. Facebook knows how to categorize you, but Google recently did an update called Hummingbird, and what Hummingbird does is it's put a big emphasis on social indicators. Facebook is the biggest social indicator, and because your page is associated with real estate, it has a better opportunity for ranking in search engine page results. So make sure you properly categorize your fan page, and for a listing page, it's always going to be real estate. You're then going to complete the information fields that are provided. The business name for this instance is the title of your listing. Beautiful 3-bedroom home in Bay Lakes. Great golf course home in San Diego. Beautiful lakefront home in, beautiful 4-bedroom lakefront home outside of Dallas. You're basically going to give it a title. The name of your business is the title of your listing. The address is the listing's address. That's pretty obvious. And then the phone number is your phone number because people will look in the About section if they're interested in this home, and they will look for how to contact you. They're more likely to contact you on your phone number than anywhere else than on the page itself. Okay? So make sure you've got it properly set up with the right address and your phone number. It gives you the opportunity to do so. That's why we've selected local business or place. The next step is Facebook is going to literally walk you through the basics of getting set up. The first thing you're going to do is add a category for Facebook, searches in Facebook and Google. Again, very, very powerful indicators in terms of Google with the new algorithm. The social indicators are a huge part of the algorithm now. Make sure you're tapping into it. And all you have to do to create or select a category is you're going to begin typing in the box. Any of the valid categories will pop up automatically, and you select any and all that apply to you. So here you can see I've selected real estate. I could also select real estate investment, real estate service, real estate title and development, real estate agent. You want to select all that apply, because the more these are tags basically, these are back-end indicators to let Google and Facebook, when somebody's searching in Facebook, know what your listing or your page is important to. The next step is to add a short description, and this is a short description from here. Don't worry, you will have an opportunity to add a longer description if you'd like to really get in there and add a longer description. But the short description is what is going to be found in the searches. They limit you to 155 characters, and the reason for that is most of us have done Google searches, correct? Everybody's nodding their head basically. I can't imagine anybody not nodding their head at that question. Everybody's done Google searches. You know that when you get a result, it typically shows up a snapshot or a small synopsis of what that content or why it's relevant to your search result. This short description is what shows up there. Okay, that's what shows up there. Again, you're limited to 155 characters. So what I recommend is that you make sure that you use your key phrase in that short description. What I've written here is, this beautiful 3-bedroom home for sale in Bay Lakes can now be yours. This is in the heart of the Dr. Phillips community, known for having the best school. I ran out of room, so I couldn't put schools, but that's good enough. Okay, I get my point across. I've got my key phrase in there. to tap into the search opportunities that are available with Google and Facebook. Okay? The next step is to enter your property website in the space provided. This is not for your personal website. This is not for your, paulbaxter.com. This is for the single property website or the listing website. That's what's going to show up in the About Me section. And again, people who are interested that find your listing on Facebook, one of the first places they're going to click is the About section. They want to know if it's a real listing or not, so they're going to look up the About section to determine whether or not this is a real person or a real listing available for sale. Make sure that you give them all that information, and you want them to click to the website. It's not likely they will because, again, they're in their safe place on Facebook, but give them the opportunity to do so. Maybe not on the first visit, the second, or subsequent visits. They may be more apt to click on that, and you want them to get to the listing site and shine it in all its beauty. If you don't use single property websites, perhaps put a link to the Zillow link. You can put any URL address in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a short URL. It can be one of those long ones from your Zillow or your Trulia link. Okay? The next step, if you choose local business or place, Facebook is going to allow you to set up a vanity name right away. If you use the other options, you typically have to get 25 likes on your page before you can do the vanity name. And all you're going to do for your vanity name is you're going to give it the facebook.com / and I always use the address of the property. That way, when you're mentioning it or when you're in conversation, oh, you'd like to see more about the property? Great. Just go to facebook.com / 2058 Easy Street, and you'll see my listing right there on Facebook. It makes it very easy to navigate. It also makes it so for those that do find it on Facebook and are interested in it, the URL address is an easy for them to remember name. They don't have to go searching. They can simply remember the URL address or the name, and it's easy for them to navigate. The next two things it asks you, Facebook wants to know is beautiful 3-bedroom home in Bay Lakes a real establishment, business, or venue? Say yes at that option, and then also, will the 3-bedroom home in Bay Lakes be the authorized and official representative of this establishment? Yes, it is. Okay, that's what opens up the search queries for it. Once all the information has been completed, click Save Info. That's all there is to it. You're going to click Save Info. That's going to navigate you to step 2, which is your profile picture. A moment ago, I mentioned that you needed to have your headshot there. That's your brand. Your brand is you, and you are your brand. This is your profile picture is your face picture. That's what is going to have the consumer or the buyer recognize you as the agent. So you simply upload your headshot. You click Upload from Computer. Import from website will work, but it's going to typically look for the branding pictures that are there. It usually grabs the logos. So I recommend using the upload from your computer. It's much easier, and that's why in step earlier on, how do you get started, I mentioned that you want to be working on the computer that has your website or your headshot on it. The next thing, step 3, it asks you to do is to add to favorites. And what that does is it allows for easy navigation so that you can manage your fan pages in an easy way. If you ever notice when you're on your home screen on Facebook, on the left-hand side, you've got several options. It begins with news feeds. Your messages are there and the events are there. That's your favorites section. If you add to favorites, your new fan page will appear there. I typically don't do this. I typically will skip this just because it's only going to be there as long as the property is for sale, and then I'm going to delete the page, so I don't need it as my favorites. I know what listings I've got. The next step it asks you to do is to promote the page or enable ads. It's asking you for a funding source for advertising, basically. Now, you can skip this step if you'd like to. If you are planning on promoting your page or doing advertisements to get more buyers to see this page, go ahead and include your credit card information. You don't necessarily have to do a promotion right away. You can include your credit card information without doing that. But again, you can also skip this step. I'm recommending that you skip this step for now. We are going to cover how to do ads in just a little bit here. Okay? So once those 4 steps are finished, or skip the last step, you'll be automatically taken to your new page. And what Facebook does is it gives you a basic tour of the page. It says getting around. It lets you know, teaches you how to navigate your new fan page. It talks about building audience and what all that does. It shows you how to like your page and things like that. And you can go on and on with the tour if you'd like to, but it does show you the basics. If you don't know how to navigate your page a little bit, it is a good idea to take that little tour. Doesn't take but a short period of time. Doesn't affect what we're doing here in any way, shape, or form, whether you take the tour or just next all the way through it. What you're going to be doing next is you're going to make your cover image so that you can beautify your new listing page. I use PowerPoint to create the cover images because it's very, very easy to do. Now, the cover image size specifically on Facebook is 851 pixels by 315 pixels. PowerPoint utilizes sizes based on inches because you're setting up a slide's size based on inches. The conversion from 851 by 315 to inches is 8.42 by 3.35. Now, guys and girls, I see each one of you writing that down just so you know you are going to get this PowerPoint as well. So it is in that. Make sure you'll have access to this number, and it is specific to the number if you want it to fit the right way. On PowerPoint 10, what you're going to do is you're going to select the design. Once you've opened up PowerPoint, you're going to click on design. Then you're going to click on slide size. When that box pops open at the bottom, you'll get an option that says custom size. When you click on that, that's where you get the slide size option. You change the width to 8.42 inches, and you change the height to 3.35 inches. Okay, and that will make your slide be the correct size. From there, all you do is you insert one of your home images, and you now have that slide as the home image. And when you go to save, you save it as a JPEG or a GIF file. I have found, though, that if you save it as a PNG file, portable network graphic file, it actually comes out a little bit clearer than a JPEG file, and therefore you've got a cleaner image, and Facebook will accept either. So when I save these, I typically will save it as a PNG file. Again, that's PNG, portable network. Portable network graphic, I believe, is what the G stands for. Yes, PNG file. And again, that stands for portable network graphics. Now, if you're not familiar with it, James, do you know how to save the PowerPoint as a PNG file? In a live situation, that's going to be more of a direct conversation and an instant answer. And so I did it this way. I didn't show all these steps in here because I specifically wanted to prompt somebody to say, well, how do I save that as a PNG file? You know what? That's a great question, James, and I don't have that in this presentation, and this goes for anybody here. If you need a little bit of, I love PowerPoint and use it quite a bit. If you need a little one-on-one with PowerPoint, I'll be glad to do that with you. Sit down with you and show you some of the tricks that I know with PowerPoint. I'll follow up with you next week, and we'll set up a time where we can get together one-on-one, and I'll show you some of that PowerPoint stuff. And then you move on. See what I did there is I prompted a question by not showing all of the specific steps of this one piece so that it would prompt somebody to ask how I do that. And now I'm letting it be known I'm willing to work with you one-on-one to help you with that. I'll follow up with you early next week, and we'll get together on exactly how to do that specific thing. And that goes for anybody in the room. If you need some of the one-on-one help, I'll be glad to do that with you. Just let me know. So I'm already kind of planting that seed that I'm looking to meet with more people, and then I'll be glad to share my expertise on what I'm doing here, right? So our new fan page, on your new fan page, once you've created your PowerPoint, you've saved it as a PNG file, you're going to simply click the Add a Cover button. Now, when you do that, you're going to get two options. One is choose from photos. The other is upload photo. You're going to select the upload a photo option, and that's going to pop open your files, so to speak. You're going to choose the cover that you just made or the one you want to use, and you click Add. Once you've done that, it shows you what it's going to look like, but it's not saved yet. You do have to click Save Changes to make that happen. So once you've clicked Save Changes, it's done. Next, you're going to add an app or an application to your Facebook fan page, and there's no reason to go out and spend money on apps. This one works absolutely perfectly. You're going to do a search on Facebook for WooBox. That's WooBox. I know, sounds a little funny, right? I laughed at it the first couple of times I heard it too, but I will tell you, this is a fantastic little application that allows you to really do some cool things and customize a page. It's like I said, you can create your own little website within Facebook, and that's what we're doing here with these apps. So you're going to search for WooBox, and when the options come up, you're going to select the one that says WooBox Custom Tab. WooBox Custom Tab. When you click on it, the page you're going to see is this: add a custom page tab to your Facebook page. Okay, the next step is to click this big old green Install Page Tab button, and once you click that big green button, it's going to pop you to a new box that asks you to select the page you're adding the app to. So select Facebook Pages. So you drop down this little menu and you find the page that you're going to use. So there's beautiful 3-bedroom home in Bay Lakes. I click that and I add page tab. What happens then is it will automatically navigate you to the new tab that it created. Notice that I'm on, you can kind of see the bottom of it of my page, but I'm no longer on Timeline, I'm on Welcome. That's the new application that I've added. That's the Welcome tab. It automatically by default starts you on the HTML option, and that's what you want for most of what you're going to be doing. I'm just showing you how to put a video on here now, so you're going to paste that video's embed code into the empty box. You don't have to change anything. You simply go to YouTube and get your embed code, and you paste it into the empty box. The next step is to rename the app to whatever you want. So a minute ago I just told you it shows we're on the Welcome. Well, I don't want it to say Welcome. I want it to say Video Tour. I want people to know exactly what that is. So I changed the name to Video Tour, and then the next step is to simply click Save Settings. It's as simple as that. Now, when you click Save Settings, you're still at the bottom of the screen. You won't see anything, and you're going to think you didn't maybe do it wrong. All you have to do at that point is scroll up to the top of that screen, and you're going to get a View Tab option. When you click View Tab, it's going to show you what is on the tab. As you can see, I've embedded a video tour of this beautiful lakefront home in Bay Lakes. Now, you'll also notice it says Settings. It's got this big ugly green bar and Add More Tabs or Add More Apps to my page. I'm only seeing that because I'm the administrator of this page. Any of the viewers, any people that click on my ad to get here or click on my app from my page do not see the admin panel. That's what this is. So please be aware. Only you're going to see that because you're the administrator of your page. Okay? And voila, you've created a brand new Facebook listing page specifically for your listing. You can use the other photos that you have of the listing as posts. One post I did was check out this gorgeous dining room and put a picture of the dining room right in there. Again, images generate 120% more engagement on Facebook than regular links do. So it's more conducive to getting more engagement and more eyeballs on it. Remember that just if one friend likes it, that's 250 people that see it, because the average US user has 250 friends. So you're talking about multiplying the eyeballs on your property over and over again just by adding a couple of little things that you can do to increase engagement. Okay? You can share the picture posts to your own timeline. You can ask the seller to share the picture posts to their timeline. The more people who share it, the more eyeballs get on it, the more exposure. When you click on the share option directly underneath any photo, a box will pop up and it says share on a page you manage. You can drop that down and choose your timeline, a friend's timeline, a friend such as the seller themselves, in a group, on another page, in a private message. You can share it in multiple ways. Once you've chosen your timeline or where you're going to share it, you simply share photo and it will share it to there, again, and creating more and more engagement, more eyeballs, more eyeballs, more eyeballs, more exposure to the listing itself, and generating leads directly on Facebook. You can do, now that you've got the page created, you can actually do a paid ad to your listing page. You can do an advertisement that gets people that maybe aren't connected to the seller or aren't friends of friends to see the page. The way that you do that is you're going to click on, from your page, you're going to click on the drop-down menu for Build Audience, and then on the very bottom of that is an option that says Use Ads Manager. That's the best way to get to it. And when you get to the Ads Manager, on the top left of the screen, you're going to get a big old green Create Ad button. You click on that and that brings you into the option to select what kind of ad you're going to do. This kind of ad is very simple. It's a simple page likes ad. We're not engaging a post that we've created. You can do that kind of ad as well. We're not looking for website conversions or clicks to a website because, again, we're smart. We understand that people don't like to be navigated off of Facebook. And so we're going to keep them right in their comfort zone, right in their happy place, right inside of Facebook, and engage them there. So the best option for this kind of ad would be a page likes ad. Once you've selected the type of ad, it's going to ask you to select the page you're running the ad to. So it gives you this little list here, and it's a drop-down. It's already dropped down once you select it if you have multiple pages. And if you do this as a strategy, you will have multiple pages for all of your listings. Select the page that you're doing the ad to. Now, by default, a vast majority of the things in the ad itself are preset up and preset up the way that you want them. Meaning, if in my short description I gave a good 155-character short description, I can actually use that. That will be the default text in my advertisement. It takes the first little bit that fits within the size restraints that I have in terms of character length on ads as it does when I'm setting it up. So because I set it up correctly and I put my key phrase in there, something that catches people's attention, this beautiful 3-bedroom home for sale in Bay Lakes can now be yours, is the automated text. It also took my cover image as the automated picture. If you notice, there's my cover image right there as the automated picture. It looks fantastic in the mobile feed and in the news feed. It's the reason why Facebook has determined that 851 by 315 is the optimal size for those cover images, because it translates well into the advertisement side. So I don't need to edit anything on mine. Now, if you do want to edit, you simply click into the box to edit. As you can see, I can upload photos. I can add photos. Once I've added one, it gives me an option to take. There's an X to take that one down. So I can change my photos at any time. I can edit my text at any time. You can do those things. If you set it up correctly, though, it saves you a ton of time in this, and you don't have to make those edits. The next step is to put in your farm area. So as you can see, I put Palm Harbor and then a 50-mile radius. What's really cool about this is you can do anywhere from a 10-mile radius around your area that you put in all the way up to 50 miles out. In addition, I can put multiple areas. So if I wanted Palm Harbor, Florida plus 50 miles, and I wanted Tampa, Florida plus 50 miles, and I wanted St. Pete, Florida plus 50 miles, and I want Lakeland, Florida plus 50 miles, I can really, really expand my farm area. Yes, you can put multiple areas, and yes, it will increase your audience. The other thing I change is the age. I thought I had mentioned that in here, but I always change the age to what your comfort level is. I know that I've never sold a house to anybody under 21 years old, so that's my minimum age. It defaults at 13, so you definitely want to change that age group. Under the more demographics section, and this is where it gets really, really cool with Facebook advertising. Under the more demographics section, you can use home, and then it shifts out to home ownership. And if you select home ownership, you get two options there. You can target directly to homeowners or directly to home renters, people who are renting a home. Really powerful tool for targeting people who are likely to purchase or more likely to be buyers. And then it goes even further under the behavior section. So notice under home ownership, I added renters from the more demographics. I added home ownership, and then I added renters from that. Under the behaviors section, you can scroll down and you'll see a section called residential profiles. And what residential profiles allows me to do is it looks at recent home buyer, recent mortgage borrower, recently moved, but the big one is likely to move. Now, for those of you unaware, Facebook has been collecting demographics on people much the same as companies like RL Polk, much the same as Google, and huge data brokers in the country. The difference is Facebook doesn't sell it outside of its own wares. They do get demographic information from thousands, hundreds of thousands of websites across all platforms, and they get demographic area information based on clicks, based on activity. And what they've been able to do through utilizing or analyzing this information is they can come up with predictors that determine whether or not, based on previous information, somebody is likely in the market to buy, likely in the market to move, based on their social indicators and multiple different, I mean, it's like I said, hundreds, thousands of indicators let them know. So this is really great demographic information, and you're now targeting somebody who is a renter that is likely to move. What's cool about that is this is how it breaks down my target, and it shows me what my target is going to look like. So we started out with 100 or 202 million possible audience people because it was just open to the United States. Then I added my Palm Harbor 50-mile radius around it, and it lowered that demographic a little. Then I added my age criteria. It had to be over 21 years of age, and it lowered it a little bit or narrowed down my target a little bit. So I'm starting to target or starting to narrow down who it is that I'd like to put my ad in front of. And then I chose people who are more likely to be moving, and they are renters. They have to be both. It can't be one or the other. They have to be renters and likely to move, and they're not connected already to my page. That gives me a target audience of 14,200 people who are currently renters and who are likely to move. They're over the age of 21, and they live within my farm area. That's powerful marketing. Very powerful marketing. All you have to do now is set your budget and place your order. And yes, you can set a daily budget. By default, it's at $5. That's the minimum per day. And it will tell you you're going to optimize for page likes. You will pay per click. When somebody clicks on that ad, you'll pay a certain amount to Facebook determined based on how many likes you get, based on your daily budget, how much activity it is, and it fluctuates. I recommend that you start out with a lower dollar amount to see what kind of activity you get, and based on that, increase the dollar amount if it's not giving you the results that you want. And then you simply place order. Once you've determined your budget, you simply place order, and your ad is now going. And guys and girls, that is all I've got for you today. I hope that you were able to learn a new way of utilizing tools inside of Facebook that are absolutely free, that are powerful tools that allow you to get more leads generated through utilizing a simple thing like Facebook fan pages to get your listings seen. Couple of things to mention. Not only is it powerful for generating new buyer leads, but it's very powerful in terms of approaching a seller and showing a seller that you utilize Facebook in this way, and having a fan page already done for that particular listing to show that seller right then and there during that listing appointment that you're actively on Facebook and you're actively going to market their listing on Facebook as well. Are there any questions about today's presentation, about any of the items that we discussed, how to create the fan page, how to go in there and add the WooBox applications? Once you've added applications, how to go in there and do an ad for your page? Golly, I even showed you how to do a YouTube video and embed that video directly into your fan page on Facebook. Are there any questions about how to get that embed code or any of those things? Fantastic. That means I have done my job today and explained it well. Guys, girls, again, I appreciate you taking the time to attend my presentation today. I know you could be spending your day anywhere in the world and you chose to spend it with me. I greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing from any and all of you as we move forward. Thank you so much for attending, and that's all I've got for you today. Now, notice, guys, that this slide that's up currently, I didn't read it. I didn't say anything about it. It's just up here, and I was asking you guys about questions. I was asking you guys, did you have any questions? And I prompted some questions based on some of the things that I've taught. Now, because you guys are used to me and you guys have been here on my classes for a little bit, you don't have questions about the WooBox tabs because you've seen me do that before. You don't have questions about embed codes because you've seen me do that before. Those things were added in without much explanation in the PowerPoint to prompt questions. Now I'm going to take a moment here and scroll back just a little bit, like where I'm at right. Where's the first one? Let me go back just a touch. Bear with me. Okay, so when you get the WooBox, when you're talking about WooBox, you're going to get questions about where do you get the app, how do you know it's the right one, how do you add the app, HTML code, what does that even mean? That's going to prompt questions, and I purposefully left some of the pieces out of that here, like where to get your embed code, because I want it to prompt the question, because that's gonna get somebody to raise their hand in the middle of your presentation. Wait, embed code, what do you mean embed code? And that gives you that opportunity every time it happens to throw in there. Great question, Jeff. I appreciate that question. YouTube is a whole class in and of itself, and I'll be happy to share with you guys that. But what you can do is you have your video tour and you upload it to your YouTube. YouTube gives you an embed code for each and every video it has on there. Usually takes about 10 minutes to kind of give you the gist and show you how to get that and how to set it up so it doesn't show all the related videos that go with it. I'll be more than happy to get with you one-on-one next week and sit down and show you how to do that with your videos on YouTube. Is that cool? I'll give you a shout next week. Great. And that goes for anybody else if you need help with your videos on YouTube too. I know quite a bit about it. I'll be more than happy to share my knowledge with you. And then move on in your presentation. Just keep going. The next place a question is going to arise, I think actually the first place a question is going to arise is when you start talking about the cover photo and utilizing PowerPoint for your cover photo. How do I save that? How do I save that? They're going to ask. Okay, then you're going to get asked about the tab itself. Somewhere along the line in the tab, you're going to get a question asked of you. And then the next place you're going to get a question asked is when you go into the ads part, talking about ads. You're going to get somebody's going to prompt you a question on that somewhere along the lines. Well, if I do, how big does the picture have to be? Things like that. Jeff is asking, how do you upload the virtual tour from agent marketing into YouTube? Jeff, I don't have access to it right here in front of me. I don't have Chris and Chad here with me today, or I'd show you one. I don't have the username and password right here in front of me. Bring that question up on Wednesdays, our next class on Wednesday, and I'll be glad to walk you through it. But in essence, it's automatic now, Jeff. What happens in agent marketing is if you have more than 10 photos for your property listing, when you click submit, it automatically generates a video based on the virtual tour. So the next step is to connect your agent marketing account with your YouTube account. And it's a very easy thing to do that. If you go into the media section on agent marketing, one of the sections says video and flash. When you click on that, to the far right, there's all this stuff about YouTube, and one of them that says authorize your account. You click on authorize your account, a button that pops up and says, hey, click here to authorize your account. A Google page pops up that says, hey, agent marketing would like permission to post on your behalf. You either accept or decline. When you accept, now what happens is your videos will automatically be posted. The virtual tours that were created into a video automatically get posted into the channel that it's authorized for. So as far as how would you upload the virtual tour to the agent marketing into your YouTube, you got to get those basic parts set up. The number one thing is have 10 pictures. With 10 pictures, everything else happens pretty much automatically after that initial setup. Okay? And you can force it as well. There's also a generate video button. You can force it to generate a new video if it hasn't done automatically. But there's not a download. You do have to connect it to a YouTube channel to get it automatically uploaded. If I'm giving this presentation one-on-one with an agent, if they would ask for a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, is something I should give, or say I will continue to review with you? No, absolutely give them the PowerPoint presentation. That's why I've got so many images. You'll notice that this PowerPoint, much more images than the PowerPoints I normally do. Pretty much every page has some sort of an image on it. I don't have any pages with just text. And that's purposeful because people, I want to present, but I also want to give them something to look at, and I want them to have something that catches eyes. I know my words don't catch eyes, so I want them to have something that catches their eye, so images that go with it. But that's all because that's something I plan on giving them, and I want them to see me as professional, that I came prepared. I just didn't have some words put on a document, that I came prepared, and they get this whole PowerPoint that's all set up with images and all that stuff. It's just one of those things, those small things that you do to impress your viewer. You guys may notice nobody's mentioned it to me, and I was kind of waiting to see if anybody brought it up or mentioned it. But notice, guys, I don't have the Mortgage Mastermind Group logo and Mortgage Mastermind Group banners on this PowerPoint. Any other PowerPoint that you've seen us do in the last few months, any other PowerPoint that we've done in the last few months has that stuff on there. I left it off purposefully because I want you guys to be able to download this, unwrap it from the box, and start using it, and it is made to hand out. That's why on that front cover you're putting your name, your contact information, and your NMLS number. That's why on that very last page In addition to the thank you for attending, please remember I'm a mortgage professional first and foremost. Your referrals are always appreciated. In addition to that, I've got my name, phone number, email address, and MLS number again. Yep. That way you can use that PowerPoint. I mean, it makes for a much better, a much easier presentation, and give it to them. By all means, give it to them. Guys, girls, that is it for today. I will get this class recording in PowerPoint uploaded as soon as I possibly can so that you guys can download your copy of it and get out there and start presenting. I can't tell you, we talked about it all week this week, the power of what live presentations brings to the table, the way that it brands you as an expert, the way that it differentiates you from the rest of the crowd. It gives you an advantage over others. There are loan officers that you guys know, part of this group, that's their entire strategy is 2 times a week they do a presentation to a group of real estate agents, and then they follow up like a banshee on those agents that attended. And that's it. That's the whole thing that has generated 14 to 20 loans every month for the last year and change. And it can really happen for you too. I look forward to helping you with it. Guys, girls, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Ooh, one last thing. If you could do me a favor, head over to the fan page, the facebook.com/mortgage mastermind group fan page. And on the post about today's class, just put a little comment there, whether or not it works for you, whether or not you liked it, whether or not it's something you can use in your business. I would greatly appreciate it. Guys, girls, thank you again so much for hanging out with me today. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a safe Labor Day weekend, but most of all, have fun, and we will see you on the backside. Have a great weekend, everybody.